Brian Banafitemi and Tim Swartz, I'm Blake Suniga, and we're thrilled to have you with us. And with a moment here before we get to the tip-off, here are tonight's starting lineups.
This game will be won or lost on the boards.
Let's how these teams control the game and get themselves extra possessions.
Well, not only that, but limiting their opponent's possessions. That'll be a huge key in this one.
Here's Sutton. Pass to Angsler.
The first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. The Nets have showed up hungry and determined to fight for what they believe is rightfully theirs. Will they be able to break the stalemate and come out on top against the Pistons? Round one of the NBA playoffs continues.
We're ready for Game 3 on 2K Sports. It's the Eastern Conference quarterfinals and a series that's all knotted up in one apiece. And on tap tonight, it's the Detroit Pistons going up against the Brooklyn Nets. Alongside Richard Jefferson and Grant Hill, I'm Brian Anderson. We'll be joined by Ali LaForce courtside. And the starting lineup for the Nets. They've got Giannis Antetokounmpo, and it's Pippen in at the 3. And for Detroit, they've got Kobe Bryant, and it's Olajuwon in at the 5, roaming the paint. So Detroit will get the first possession. Here's West, pass to Brand. Out to the right wing. Olajuwon passes to Worthy. Here's West. Here's the 3. Count it. 1 for 1 to start the game.
And that's what they want to do. Get him open looks early.
Here's Nash. Pippen, pass to Nash. On the line. It's rebounded by Olajuwon.
Oh, I can see some miscommunication on defense there very clearly. They were super fortunate it didn't torch them with that mistake.
Yep, count it.
That's a guy you want taking shots, a quality offensive player.
Antetokounmpo uses the glass on the layup.
No one eats up more ground on the drive than Giannis. Gets to where he wants to be in 1 or 2 steps.
All right, let's check in with Ali LaForce.
A bit ago, JB Bickerstaff and I were in a little chat. We discussed the elephant in the room, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Coach said we'll look to build the wall as best we can, but Giannis gets better at beating it every year. All I'm really asking from my guys is their best effort against him. These are reasonable expectations from the coach for his squad.
Appreciate the report, Ali.
Nice one-handed jam. Simple and effective, B.A.
Hey, with the lead, I'm surprised he didn't come up with something a little more creative. Here's West. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair.
Everyone in the building.
The first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. The Brooklyn Nets have a battle ahead. Can they even the series at 2 games apiece? They know they can win, and now must rise to the occasion with millions of fans looking on as they square off against the Pistons. Round 1 of the NBA playoffs continues.
It's Game 4 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. Glad you could join us today. In this game, we'll see the Detroit Pistons going up against the Brooklyn Nets. Along with Coach Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. Hall of Famer David Aldridge will be joining us from the sidelines moments from now. So the Nets starting 5. They've got Hastings. Antetokounmpo is out there with Shaquille O'Neal. Then it's Pippen, and it's Nash in at the 1 spot. And for the Pistons, they've got Olajuwon. Worthy out there with Brand. Then there's Kobe. And it's West in at the points. Here's Brand taking a look at Detroit. Greg, they have home court now. What do they need to do to take advantage of this opportunity?
And Kevin, these are the games where, I feel like you need to make big shots because the teams are close. 1 or 2 plays either way could decide this thing. That's why you have to value every possession early.
Kobe, no good.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Antetokounmpo. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And what I love about Giannis, he's a superstar, an MVP, a champion. But best of all, Giannis is an incredible ambassador for the game.
Brooklyn shooting their first free throws of the evening. First free throw is good.
I think what makes Giannis special is how uncomplicated he is. The man is just an incredible, pure athlete who simply loves the game of basketball. That's all there is to it.
Free throws good from Antetokounmpo. Now Kobe. West outside. Brand sets a screen for West. Back to Bryant. That 3 off the mark.
Well, the defense got lucky there. More often than not, he's making that.
Here's Giannis. Good work there as it goes.
You love watching Giannis operate inside. So assertive and forceful.
A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Well, I was able to talk with J.B. Bickerstaff for a minute. I asked him what his team needed to do in order to contain Giannis Antetokounmpo. Coach told me we have to make sure to communicate and help out on defense, specifically clogging up and taking away lanes to the rim. That's how he can really hurt you. Of course, it'll be an all-hands-on-deck tonight approach, trying to stop the grapefruit. Guys?
Thank you, David. Count the basket.
And you got to like how creative Nash is driving inside. A quick-footed guard who just kind of slices through the D and picks his spots.
Bryant in the corner. In transition, here come the Nets. West with the steal. From past the arc. And there's Bryant. That's good on the assist from West.
And boy, did they need that one. Their first make in the 5 field goal attempts they've had.
Pass to Hastings. shot opportunity, and he uses the glass on the layup.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
And timeout called by J.B. Bickerstaff. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alterations. First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. This passes to Olajuwon. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That's on Shaq. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
At the line for Detroit, Hakeem Olajuwon.
Shooting
2 shots.
And he makes the first. Parrish, he's checked in for Grant. English, he's checked in for the Nets. And Olajuwon drops them both. And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Here's Hastings. Olajuwon with the block.
Without a doubt, one of the most versatile shot blockers in the game. Olajuwon does it in the painted area as well as along the perimeter.
And that one's good by Kobe.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he is delivering.
Yeah, well, his offensive contributions are going to be very important in this game. So it's good they've already got him in a rhythm.
Shoots from the elbow. Rebounded by the Nets. Thursday's loss was a disappointment.
I'll tell you, they played hard, they drew fouls, but they could not convert at the line.
And missed free throws are killers, especially when you consider how many they missed. Hopefully, they stay late to practice after that one.
On our AT&T 5G Slam Cam, you just saw an explosive highlight. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Steve Nash. That is his first foul of the game. And the Pistons making a change here. Pierce is checked in. And a switch here for Brooklyn. Thompson's checked in. And here's Bryant for 3. The shot missing.
And guys, his shot hasn't been falling this quarter. Time to settle down, refocus, and get a really high percentage look.
Nash outside. O'Neal against Olajuwon. Down to 5 on the shot clock.
2 minutes remaining in the first.
O'Neal passes to Hastings. Whoops, there's the 24.
All right, and we here. So look, as y'all can tell by the title of this video, we're about to get into a testimony about a lady who said she saw Biggie Smalls in hell, right? I listened to a little bit over an hour of this entire video. I haven't finished it all the way. And powerful, very, very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Now, y'all know we just listened to a testimony a couple videos back of the guy who was telling the vision that he had being in hell. Her visions, her story, her testimony is very, very similar to his. The way they both describe the demons being upward of 15 feet tall, the way they describe the darkness, the way they describe the way the demons torture you almost to a T. They both have very similar stories, and it just goes to, confirm that this stuff is real. Hell is a real place. And like I told y'all in the last time that we reacted to one of these testimonies, I don't share these on my channel unless I feel that they are genuine. You have to be able to feel the Holy Spirit off someone, and she's, someone that I felt it from. Because other than that, like I said, I wouldn't even waste my time reacting to it. But I'm gonna play the beginning of this video because it kind of highlights some of the things that she was saying throughout this interview. There's one particular part that really struck me, and it struck a lot of others because, man, it was chilling to hear her say it. And then we're gonna get into the part where she talks about Biggie. And what really made me want to show that part is something I'm gonna get into. I'm gonna pull the picture up. And it's something that she didn't even say. I don't want to say it yet. I don't want to spoil it too early, but there was a lot of different reasons that just confirmed. For me, it was like, yeah, we got to share this on the channel. Y'all know I just want to get y'all opinions on it. Some of y'all probably seen this already. I mean, it has over like 1.5 million views in a week. So this one, it got out there. So without too much talking going on, y'all, let's go ahead and jump into the beginning. And then we're going to get into the part where she talks about Biggie. All right, check this out.
Said, Jesus, I was out of my body on the floor. And then God started to speak. He said, do you see this darkness? He said the darkness is alive, and it is its own separate evil entity. He said, do you see these flames? These flames are 20,000 times hotter than the fire on the earth. He said, these flames are filled with brimstone night and day, they will never go out. He said, you serve me with your whole heart, because you don't, I'll use you with others. He said, but you'll have your inheritance. You cannot be involved in false religion. You cannot be a homosexual or lesbian or transgender. You can't be beating your wife. You can't be preaching and then living in sin. Buddha's not going to get you there. Muhammad's not going to get you there. A senator real ain't going to get you there. It's just Jesus. It don't matter if you ask 20,000 times a day. Keep asking until that sin of business is removed from your heart and you're able to talk to them again as they never did. That's how you know the game. Oh my gosh. Was no vision. I was physically out of my body in hell, standing beside Jesus Christ himself. It's black. Jesus was 13, 36 years old. And he was standing in front of a jail cell. A jail cell in hell. And Biggie was holding the bar and he was on fire from the inside. He said, this man, he didn't even call him his name. He said, this man told me he was eating. This man went to a finished preaching that Sean B. Fairlight was talking about a bank.
Now check this out. I want y'all to hear something that she said. And
he's just too talented offensively.
I mean, you could already hear it in her voice. She ain't come to play no games. But she described, first off, she said this wasn't a vision. She said she was out of her body. And when she was took to hell, she actually saw herself in her bed. It was an out-of-body experience. It wasn't a vision. She said the flames in hell 20,000 times hotter than the flames that's on earth. She said the darkness of hell is an entity. The evil is alive in that darkness. The darkness is an entity. And we talked about that before. It automatically made me think about that video we did with sun and antimatter. And remember how we were talking about how they are trying to produce more antimatter to basically find out what the veil consists of, find out what the spiritual world consists of, right? It made me think about them bringing darkness over our reality, and maybe that is the darkness that they are trying to penetrate and open up.
Frazier outside. And the rejection by English. And the shot is good from Nowitzki.
Yeah, showing off that
That's how unstable it is. Remember that, right? Y'all remember we were talking about it. Everything was darkness, before basically God spoke our world, our universe into existence. I was blown away when I heard that. But I want y'all to hear something real quick I thought was very important. Even for myself, I had to, self-reflect. Even for myself. But look, one more time, just listen to this part one more time.
These planes are 20,000 times harder than the 500. He said these planes, if they were built so nice, they would never go out. He said, you serve me with your whole heart because you don't.
I really liked how they moved the ball tonight. Because of this selfless approach, they are piling up the assists.
And for Brooklyn, they're shooting about 42% so far. So for Brooklyn now, English is out there with Pippen. Then there's Yao. And it's Chris Paul. And it's Thompson in at the two-guard spot. Here's English. From down in the low post, it goes. English has got the first points up on the board here in the second quarter for the Nets.
I've told y'all mine. I told y'all I've gotten rid of so many vices in my life. I don't smoke. I don't. That's how unstable it is. Remember that, right? Y'all remember we were talking about it. Everything was darkness, before basically God spoke our world, our universe into existence. I was blown away when I heard that. But I want y'all to hear something real quick I thought was very important. Even for myself, I had to, self-reflect.
Just about anywhere on the floor.
Frazier the best, and Nowitzki. Five to shoot. That one goes in for him too, making it look easy. He's now 4 for 4.
We'll see if they can finally hold on to a lead. It's been back and forth all night.
Well, this is why the fans are here. Each team trading blows, increasing the entertainment value. Well, after a silent first quarter, this is who they needed him to be. This is why you never count a guy out. Terrific ball movement leading to the basket. You love to see it.
Here's Thompson. The kick out to English. Shot, high post. And Pierce pulls it down.
Well, that one should be in his wheelhouse, but just off the mark.
Nowitzki, no good.
I mean, that can happen to anyone, but it's every time it does.
Yeah, that's one he'd like to have back. Those are the opportunities you have to convert.
And he jumped out to that ball immediately. Great reaction on that deflection.
Yeah, and they're tracking the tips and deflections because that tells you who's affecting the game.
Elton Brand's checked in for the Pistons. Kobe comes in for Pierce. Then for the Nets, Giannis Antetokounmpo comes in for English. And it's Hastings in for Thompson.
Just simply overpowers the defense. Giannis flexing that near 7-foot frame.
And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for Brooklyn.
Well, their game plan has been very effective so far. They're working the ball inside, putting constant pressure on.
Oh, man. Their mid-range jumper also has been on fire. Tough to beat a group of guys shooting with that much confidence.
Kobe can't hit. The Nets with the lead. Here's Antetokounmpo. Great D that time from Brand.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
There's no air space there whatsoever. That's as close as you can get without foul.
Oh, he went for the two-hander on the slam. Using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there. Sure. And this is his first trip to the line tonight. And the Pistons making a change here. West is checked in. Also changing it up. Klay Thompson is
dollars in under 2 minutes with no credit check or interest. Oh my gosh, I got it. I'm an entertainer and Bridget to show you the money.
And defensively, you hope you've accounted for everything. Then Giannis whips out the floater. Insane.
To the inside. And it's Parrish finishing it off. He talked about a back and forth game.
You literally get to now watch it in real time. They are penalizing teams that want to win and stack their roster. So now that means teams that are right there and getting ready to jump into that next, they got to dumb their team down to get under a certain half. Right, Kuminga? Hey man, look, if you want to start, sign that deal. If you don't sign that deal, they're going to put your time to devalue you. You're going to go in the open market. What they offered you is going to be off the table. What you get in the open market, they're just going to match. So if you sign in, 60 million, 80 million, 90 million, anything that's under the 120 they was originally willing to pay you, they're going to match it. The problem is that if you don't have another buyer, you're going to be just how you are right now. You're going to have to sign a qualifying deal, and guess what? They get to do the same again. I think off the bench. But he'll be a free agent at least at that point. Report that they're looking for a sign and trade partner. But Anthony Slater, I think, used to be Athletic. I don't know if he's there anymore. He still might be. But basically broke this story basically saying, and I talked to some people in Kuminga's camp as well recently, that there was never no offers. There was all these back and forth that he wanted 45, 50 million a year. He wanted to get paid max and all this stuff. So for what I was told, the worst came in with a super disrespectful offer off the jump. Just like, and his people weren't rolling with it. And that's where all this stuff started. But it was even below, I think they were talking about Jalen Johnson deal to 5 for 150. Saying he would have took that if that deal was offered. From what I heard, that deal was not offered. It was significantly lower than even that. And it's like, I'm not going to take this whole deal right now from y'all. Yeah, no, it was one. He was hoping for 5 for 150. He was 5 for 150. So the number, that's the range that I think the 5 for 120 was what we put on the table. Take it or leave it. And it's like, I'm going to bet on myself. And it's like, okay. Man, we got the deck, nigga. The game is rigged. You don't have the cards right now. And that's what I said. After I realized, after the start of the season when it started, I would have realized this deck is rigged, and I would have protected my money by signing that deal, right? I'm going to sign a deal, 2-year option out for 2027. I would have did something to sign it. And that's why I said, you can have 3 guys open this free agency. The first one to say, I'm willing to take that deal, you're going to be happy, the others are going to be miserable because they're never going to get that money back. So, Giddy, if I'm Giddy right now, and he got a 5-year, 95-year, 100, take the deal. I take the deal. All that's going to happen is, Giddy has more power than them because he's a starter, right? So he can still get his numbers and be attractive next year, right? When you're talking about Kuminga, and say, I'm going to take a $7.9 million qualifying deal, do you really think that they're going to lose an asset for nothing? So I'm going to let you go out there and turn yourself into a max player on my time? No. Right? So I'm going to put your time again.
right? So this is the business of basketball that nobody likes to look at. They think everything is all peachy. I average 20, but this is what I'm going to get paid. That's not how it always is.
Back when you were playing, obviously it's a different time now, different CPA, second apron, all that stuff going on. Back when you were playing, what's always, let me look at the comps, right? Here are the comps, and here's the bag comparable to whatever I'm putting up. So if I'm putting up whatever, maybe 20 and 5, this is what 25 is getting paid right now. This is how much I feel like I deserve. Kaminga not at that level. I think it was like 15 and 5 last season. Getting put in the doghouse the year before, like 15 and 5. You know, he shot over 50% the first 3 seasons of his career. I think this last season, he was under that for the first time. Yeah, he shot 50% and 23-24. Shot 45%. So you can see numbers were down across the board. So they're trying to drop the price down. And now at this point, with this second effort, this trade is gone, CBA, those bags right there aren't there. I think there's only a couple of teams who even have bread to get these type of moves made to get some at that level. And it seems like at this point, and that's why we're talking about the Warriors not making a ton of moves. It seems like they're a standoff right now with this Kaminga deal trying to get it done. Obviously, it feels like the sign and trade is probably the only real true option at this point to keep both sides happy because this dude, he's not going to be happy there. You already. The second apron is something that it's like anything, right? When something new is coming in, because you don't really understand it, everything is on call. Right? So now you got Boston over there cutting their roster down. You got New York doing what they're doing, right? You got all these people because they don't know how it's going to affect you. All they're doing is just reading language. So that usually that first summer something's coming in, everyone panics. So this is the summer everyone's panicking because they don't know what is to be expected and how do you get penalized in real life. I said it before. I said if I was an owner, like I'm the late, I would have sold my team too. If there's a $10 billion, cash prize out there. But how long is this deal for? 4 years, 10 years, 6 years? For what? This new CBA. Let me see when this flies. I think they're like every 6 or whatever. Because for the next 6 years, literally, I can win a championship. This is going to be some free for all. Everyone spread the winning around type of deal, and I don't like that as an owner. So you're telling me I can't spend my money without being penalized, and I don't like that. Right? If I'm worth 16, 17 billion, and this nigga over here is worth 2 billion. Why are we playing on the same rule? But they can opt out of the agreement. Both league and players union have the option to opt out of the agreement after the 28-29 season. It's supposed to be a 7-year deal, 7-year collective bargaining agreement to 29-30. But we're seeing, I guess, off this new $70-something billion TV deal, like the cap can only raise by 10% every year, right? And the brand is, I think, surpassed that with this new TV deal. But no matter what, the cap can only go up by 10%. So players are going to start getting salty.
But again, I don't think anyone.
A groundbreaking biohacking innovation has joined forces with the UFC Performance Institute to protect athletes from post-performance blockers, EMF radiation, using Aerostech. Founded over 20 years ago by visionary Dmitry Serov, Aerostech has dedicated over $20 million to develop cutting-edge nanotechnology that protects against harmful EMF radiation from devices like cell phones and Wi-Fi routers. Dmitry's commitment to this mission has transformed.
Just from, listening to owners talk to owners, not general managers, not fucking media. Owners, right? I don't mind paying, right? I don't mind paying $100 million to these players. What I don't want to do is you put this invisible stop sign here, and you say, well, hey, you pay over this the first time, dollar for dollar. The second time, times it by 2. The third time, times it by 5. Now there's $500. This 500 is costing me damn near $25 million for the same thing. I don't like that. You're literally trying to steal my money for trying to win. That's the problem with this. You're trying to penalize me for trying to build a team to win. Makes no logical sense. Right? So the teams that say sorry, hey, we get taxed nothing, we pay, and all the teams that are trying to win championship get hit over the head. Like, how does that sound? That doesn't sound like NBA that has to do with players' legacy. Think about it. My legacy as a player, their legacy is built on winning. The owners are getting penalized for winning. Jokic, his team owner will be penalized for winning. So they're going to have to build that team shame. You're trying to win these back-to-back championships. This new contract Stop stalling.
Yeah, but I will say the one thing we talked about that with the Thunder and what was going to end up having. So Shea signed that Supermax extension. Obviously, Chet Holmgren signed a max extension. I think Jalen signed the Supermax extension as well. But like this is going to be all right. Like I think they finessed and finagled the Sam Presti is kind of seeing and looked ahead down the runway. Like this squad's going to be all right for the next couple of years. Yeah, they're going to make some tough decisions out of the road with some of the lesser dudes on the squad, but they have such an arsenal of picks that they can retool with these lower level contracts. So we talked about it with the Nets. They have the 5 first-round picks, but it's like you're going to.
Here's Hastings. He's guarded by Olajuwon. That one doesn't go. Some solid defense from Bryant.
But only the first miss of the second half. They've come out here with authority.
Well, you win and lose as a team, so the fact that they're trailing isn't all on him. But with that said, he's had a rough shooting.
Pistons trail by 5. Worthy dishes to Bryant. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. Antetokounmpo's got his 4th rebound in this one. And again, no good by Brooklyn.
Well, and after making just 1 triple going into the break, he's still looking for his first make from distance here in the second half. Suffocating defense to keep the layup from falling.
Kobe against Pippen over Bryant. Here's Hastings. Rebound, Detroit. And we've got a whistle. The refs are indicating it's a transition take foul. It's going to be a shot and the ball. First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
Right? So you get penalized on those guys in real time, but the guys that you drafted, there's no penalty against your cap on it. You get penalized against people you bring in. That's what I would be saying. That's fair deal. So now you make drafting more important, but right now you're penalizing for being smart. You know everybody's going.
And we've seen this, like they're the same thing built through the draft like the Thunder built, and down the road, you're going to punish them for being good at their job. Another thing, like I always tell guys, like, when it comes to that private stuff on being capitalist and capitalism, free market, all over the board, but we talk about the salary cap, and when there's black athletes involved, then we gotta cap the salary. I've never understood that logic and rationale. If people are good businessmen, they'll be good businessmen, but like you're saying, this thing basically punishes people that try to be good businessmen and saying, damn, you want to invest and spend on this team, then you got to break all this down with these booming teams that don't want to do any of that. They don't want to hit the cap.
And this is why having debates about players' legacy when it comes to rings, and now for the first time you get to see the business of basketball. You literally get to now watch it in real time. They are penalizing teams that want to win and stack their luck. So now that means teams that are right there and getting ready to jump into that next, they got to dumb their teams down to get under a certain cap.
Here's West. Again, the Pistons score.
Created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
They do have an issue.
Yeah, well, half the decade has been positional. They've been changing until after 2023. That's why I asked. What's crazy? It's up to you. You're a host. I'm just this decade. They've been changing. They changed it. They changed it when someone made it under the second. No, actually, that's not what happened.
What happens? So Mars is really good. Yeah, so Mars is really good.
Can we get clarity on someone before you go on this question?
Someone was making you want to get into the control.
You get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Pippen down low. Worthy defending. Detroit shooting their 6th attempt at the charity stripe in the game. Different look here for Detroit. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Olajuwon, and it's Frazier in for West. The Nets also changing it up. Yao, he's checked in for O'Neal. Klay Thompson comes in for Hastings, and it's Paul in for Nance. And Kobe throws it down.
Leaping up to the rim, Bryant sees the opening and does not hesitate to attack.
Paul Pierce is checked in for Bryant.
Doncic joining the Lakers secretly set off LeBron. This summer, LeBron's behavior can only be seen as strange. And now, we have a potential bombshell. Both LeBron and Anthony Davis posted the same Instagram story at the same time. Becoming the best version of yourself comes with lots of good vibes. Weird and a potential move because LeBron has two major decisions. Both are going to shape the NBA to its core. The first will be, does he want out of LA to join Anthony Davis in Dallas, or is it stuck with Steph Curry on the Warriors? I think we can all agree. We've seen this pattern before. Anytime LeBron leaves, Cleveland, Miami, Cleveland again, he stays silent, but then the departure playbook begins. We hear weird statements like, he recognizes he's not the Lakers' priority anymore. Then like clockwork, his agent says, we do want to evaluate what's best for LeBron at this stage. And then suddenly, boom, LeBron is gone. So today, we are exposing if LeBron is making moves behind the scenes to form a super team. One that's going to give him the best chance for one more ring. And also, we're looking at LeBron's second major decision, because decision 2 is going to change the power balance of basketball as we currently know. And here's the thing. LeBron's last 2 seasons in the NBA are going to have a tremendous impact on his legacy. Players love to pretend that their legacy does not matter, but it matters a ton. The greats are given some leeway. We remember Michael Jordan's last shot as a goal versus the Utah Jazz, securing his 6th championship. The fact that he retired in between his time with the Bulls and Wizards saved him. Otherwise, those last few seasons might count against Mike. We remember Kobe making 2 free throws with a torn Achilles in 2013, and then ending his career with an insane comeback, scoring 60 points against the Jazz in his final game and leaving us with Papa out. LeBron broke the all-time scoring record, but there was almost no hype at all around that. Instead, what people focused on is the fact that LeBron has not made the finals in the last 5 seasons since the 2020 bubble championship. We've also focused on the fact that the Lakers have lost in the first round of the playoffs the last 2 seasons. Is Bron being held to a ridiculously high standard? Yes. That is what happens when you enter legitimate GOAT talks. It is important here to note that in our human nature, we remember how any type of situation ends. And that means that the final seasons of LeBron's career will be imprinted in all of our brains forever. You would think that with a new star teammate in Luka Doncic and a new center in DeAndre Ayton, LeBron would be excited to give this roster a go. Want to get out of the LeBron James business. They want to pivot. He doesn't like not to be celebrated. It just feels like he recognizes he's not their priority anymore, and that's created some tension. But before we continue, I'm excited to thank Raycon for sponsoring today's video. Now, I have a question for you. Don't you love when one of your favorite things comes back to life? I know I loved Happy Gilmore. I know I love the Happy Gilmore sequel. It was perfect. With that said, guess what is back and better than ever? Raycon's fan favorite everyday earbuds classic model, now packing active noise cancellation. Active noise cancellation gives you the perfect way to tune out everything around you, something we all love. And really, they were the only thing the everyday earbuds classic model was missing. Pair that with 8 hours of playtime and a 32-hour battery, and your Raycons never have to leave your ears. I'm always using mine in the gym just to lock in and get in a great workout. And Raycon's audio quality rivals all of the best top big brands that you know of. And if you don't believe me, well, there are tens of thousands of 5-star reviews that agree. So make sure to go and get yours today. Go to buyraycon.com/Corsemba to get 20% off your fan favorite everyday earbuds classic. The link to get that Raycon discount will be in my description down below. Thank you to Raycon for sponsoring today's video. And now let's get back to that video. LeBron, throughout his entire NBA career, has shown that if things do not go his way, he will pull a Jimmy Butler and there will be no joy in his basketball game. Unlike Butler, though, LeBron moves in silence. Dwayne Wade said that the reason for LeBron leaving Miami after the 2014 season may not have been roster construction. It may have come down to cookies.
One thing you don't do is fuck with LeBron cookies. So we get on the plane, and then at some point, Bron gonna be like, hey, bring me those cookies. And this one day, he was like, hey, where my cookies at? And they had to come up there and whisper in his ear and tell him there were no more cookies on the plane. That motherfucker said, doing his head like this, you're talking about a team who's 4 finals in a row. Right. You don't need to micromanage us.
This story reveals that Pat Riley pulled some weird power move where he didn't want LeBron eating cookies on the team plate. Next thing we know, LeBron is back in Cleveland. I agree with LeBron on this one that if he's the MVP and bringing the team to the finals 4 straight seasons, he should be able to eat cookies, especially because he was staying in supreme shape. But the point here is not about the cookies. It's that if something small like this can push LeBron into I don't want to be here anymore mode, and that his boy, Dwayne Wade, really believes this, then right now, the Lakers are certainly pushing LeBron away. But it's here where things get more intense. The cookie story is certainly funny, but it is also an indicator of the I am leaving, I am LeBron James blueprint. As Wade said, in the plane, LeBron sat in silence. He didn't directly confront anyone. Back in the summer of 2017, we saw more of this blueprint take place. The Cavs fired their GM David Griffin, who LeBron had a great connection with. Their new GM, Kobe Altman, made it very clear that he was not going to make any moves for LeBron specifically, especially because he was not sure about LeBron's future with the team. So
I have $5 I'm willing to give away if anyone knows anything about Clash Royale. $5 in Clash Royale. Can you tell me which game
What are the options? Red or blue? Red.
Oh, for $5, can you name a character in Clash Royale? Name a character? Yes, name a character.
What?
Just name a character. Sorry. Download Clash Royale now.
It's free. Bye, Daddy.
Yo, never mind. You get a month for free.
It's free. You can get 1 month for free. So you got nothing to lose, you got everything to gain.
Try it. And you're gonna like it.
What's the drink? That's how drink it is.
Unfamiliar? Well, back in that summer of 2017, the fracture also began when the Cavaliers traded Kyrie Irving. Kyrie had fallen out with both LeBron and the team at the time, but LeBron felt he could make things right with Kyrie. The official report was that there was a phone call and that James was adamant on the call. Do not trade Irving, especially to the Celtics. By the end of the call, all 6 games the trade was it sounds a lot like LeBron being blindsided by Davis trade. Initially, I didn't actually believe that LeBron was blindsided by that move. I thought he was just trying to save face with AD, but now, as we know, LeBron played just 1 more year with the Cavs after that Kyrie Irving trade. Then, after a lot of passive aggressiveness, he was out to LA. So it is very possible that LeBron is right now in that same mindset. Play out the final year with the Lakers and then be out for wherever he wants. However, the fact that LeBron should get off on 1 next year provides a nice bigger catalyst. He doesn't have time to wait. It's speculated that maybe accepting a player option with LeBron higher, but reports say otherwise. People believe LeBron will want a farewell tour with the quote, launch all the official franchise
to send it over to David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. During that last break, I heard Julie Hernandez
second decision, which is a wild card of the move. It also is a move that shows us LeBron can make big-time plays in basically
time to pour on the gas.
LeBron and Maverick Carter are aiming to launch an international basketball league with $5 billion behind it. Goal being become a competitor in the NBA. They're out of syllabus behind the scenes.
CP3 is out there making strong passes, keeping the offense flowing.
LeBron and the team behind him are trying to create a basketball league with the plan being beat the NBA and finish off with probably using the dark house to draw his base. LeBron and his team have been contacted by Nikola Jokic about right now. And LeBron's team has already stated that players cannot play in the NBA if they're playing in LeBron's team. Now, Stephen A. Smith
Klay Thompson from about 19 feet.
There's a good chance
Bounces high off the rim and drops.
We just watched this go.
Thompson can adjust his touch perfectly for that mid-range.
Still some NBA players with those
Screen by Bryant.
contracts. They overall NBA.
It's Bruce with the drive.
Getting hurt.
It's from about Kumbo.
LeBron has these
Into the paint. Here's Hastings. And up with the feet. Leads to a monster jam.
He takes advantage of him in every way possible.
And Reagan lures them into a trap on the steal, and then bang.
Will LeBron remain on the Lakers?
Turning great defense into great offense. That's the kind of stop you're looking for.
And J.B. Bickerstaff is called a timeout. He's not taking any chances and wants to huddle him up right away.
Back with Anthony Davis, back with a hopefully healthy Kyrie Irving, and then we have guys like Cooper Flagler. That certainly could be a championship competing roster. Because what if LeBron does not wait an entire season and instead looks to make a move sooner than we thought? But the move that would draw the most attention would be teaming up with Steph Curry along with the Warriors. The Warriors could actually trade for LeBron this very moment, and it is so simple. Looking at the trade machine, we have LeBron and Bronny traded for one Jimmy Butler. Jimmy can keep the Lakers in contention with Luka, and Jimmy also has an expiring contract in the 2025 season. So if LA doesn't love the Philly back there time, they can go to move him in a relatively fashion. This also specifically works for a different report that has come out about the Lakers and their future plans. Now they're aiming to keep their cap space flexible for the 2027 season. LeBron would get to play with Steph and Draymond and certainly be the talk of the NBA for the entire year in 2020. While Luka would have a dog in Jimmy Butler playing with him, the Warriors would up their perimeter defense, and the Lakers would make the full transition to
Olajuwon's checked in for Barry. Worthy comes in for Pierce. And West
Where
subs
do
in
you-
for Frazier.
There we have it.
And
Thanks
then
for watching. I hope you enjoyed
O'Neal's
today's
checked
video.
in for
Your
English.
additional nations
Pippen comes in for Klay Thompson.
Only
And it's
if you
Nash
like the
in
video,
for Chris
know and
Paul.
watch the sequel. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting. You are awesome. We all know it. And as always, have an awesome day. And here's a
Olajuwon finds Worthy. Bryant is open look. Again, the miss by the Pistons. Nets trail by 7. Pippen feeling it out a bit. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession. Pistons leading by 7. West passes to Worthy. To the middle. To the Kumbo with the steal. And now here's Pippen with the fast break chance. Nash's shot is off. Pistons have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming off the road. West kicks to Olajuwon. Back to Worthy. Pistons passing it around. Shot clock at 5. Here's Kobe. And dead on that time. Beautiful shot.
On offense, the efficiency of Bryant is really something else. He always seems to have a different type of shot up his sleeve.
West against Nash. Outside, out of the Kumbo. Over West. And again, no good by Brooklyn. And so Bryant will bring it up for the Pistons. Knocked away off his leg. And it's being called a kickball. Here's Kobe. Kobe on the take. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's on Shaq.
I like watching Kobe when he's in that slash mode to the rim. Plays with force, knows how to get to the stripe.
Taking 2 shots.
We got this.
He hits the second from the line. Nets trail by 10. We've got 1:55 left to play in the final quarter. It's Pippen on the wing. And James Worthy gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. Here's Antetokounmpo. Right side, Pippen. 6 to shoot. Back to Giannis. Antetokounmpo converts inside.
And we see this often now from Giannis. His offensive repertoire has become so versatile.
Outside, Olajuwon. It's to Brand. Stolen by Pippen. Now here comes Nash, leading the break. Here's Giannis. Good, and the assist goes to Nash. Nash has got 6 assists now in the game.
Yeah, he's in such a great rhythm right now. Makes sense to get him the ball any way you can.
Yeah, when you have a guy playing like he has been recently, he's got to be the first option on every possession.
Here's Kobe. O'Neal with the rebound.
It's a defender doing just enough to cause a miss on the layup.
Here's Hastings. Covered by Brand. Back to Nash. 5 on the clock. To the right wing. Here's Hastings. It counts. What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
And you've got to love the energy right now. They got hot when they absolutely had to.
Well, you love their execution to get back in it. This game's very much in reach for them.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock.
Can't afford any wasted possessions down the stretch.
Yeah, they need everything to break their way at this point if they're going to rally back.
Timeout. Oh, he is just so clutch, saving his best for when the pressure is at its highest.
And timeout called by J.B. Bickerstaff. No doubt he is feeling the importance of this moment right now. Seconds left in the fourth quarter. And there's the foul. It's on the franchise. That's foul number 2 for him. Worthy dishes to Brand. Ryan in the post. Pass to Worthy. Oh, off target. For the win. Oh, and a chance to win the game, but the last second shot is offline. And regulation now complete. We will go to overtime. These teams have battled tooth and nail for 4 quarters, and now we head to overtime. Should be a blast. Here we go. O'Neal is out there with Antetokounmpo. And there's Hastings. Then there's Pippen. And it's Nash in at the 1. As passes to Brand. It's blocked by Shaq. Outside Pippen. To take the lead. Pass to Hastings. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation.
Well, that one stings. In a game where every possession counts, he just gave one away.
Outside, Kobe takes the 3. Rebounded by the Nets. Shaq's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Outside, Kobe. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
And he He's a good shooter from outside, but not sure from that deep.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's jacking him up from way out there these days. You want guys to stay within themselves.
Inside, here's Olajuwon. Lost it counts. Olajuwon's got it all tied up now for Detroit.
And that's just too deep. Olajuwon with way too many moves in there. Almost automatic.
Pass to Pippen. Free throw is good, and that gives them the lead. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses.
Well, not a perfect trip to the line, but he gets the one he needed to put them in the driver's seat.
Bryant's shot is off.
Well, he's just not himself right now. He's getting decent opportunities like this one, but just failing to convert.
And that's the beauty of Giannis. Always been a willing passer and can find the open man once the D focuses in on him.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Third personal foul. First team foul. At the line for 2, Kobe Bryant.
He hits the first one, and that narrows the lead down to just 3. And Kobe drops them both.
Yeah, he's a guy you want at the line. And clearly...
And now they can't seem to get rid. The Boston Celtics acquired Anthony Simons via trade this summer, and now they can't seem to get rid of him. The trade market untimed right now for Boston. Plus, Kyrie Irving with some thoughts on the draft doesn't need to be abolished. I'm Trevor Wayne. This is the Basketball Bulletin.
Not affected by the moment.
Brooklyn's gone 6 of 12 from outside. A very nice 50% mark. Shooting the 3-ball well. Hastings. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's going to be on Kobe Bryant. drops the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead.
I think if you guys guys, but if they are apparently monitoring him, I'm not terribly surprised if they're struggling to find him. Is he extension eligible as well?
Yeah, so I think that's part of the thing. Anthony Simon's obviously, I thought that was a great trade, by the way, for the Celtics. So they're moving to Holiday, and they get Anthony Simon's a good talented player. I like Anthony Simon, 50 goals, but really the value of the Celtics was the Simon's contract. Where there are a lot of salary, I think it's like to the place, it may work out good time for them. But that's a lot of salary to take on this one. Holiday, so players play 85%. That's why I think like that important. But for the Celtics side, you're taking that Drew Holiday salary into the new game for second and third year. However, Anthony Simon may or may not be a guy that they actually want to build as a coach for a long term or build with. I should say before they look around, if they're feeling Anthony Simon is that kind of low, then I question on it does or not because the point is that it's one of those super fast particularly in that exactly what Anthony Simon does. So if it's in that way, it's just defensive. He does it, there's a good really better with the Celtics. But that's what it does surprise me that they're struggling to move him. They brought him in, I thought, on a good deal because of his contract. But people don't want to pay guys who are primarily for first offense that's for the defensive. And that's what makes the thing around the NBA right now. And so it doesn't surprise me that they're not fighting down in crazy time of the what? We were talking about some of those guys what?
His style of player is the one that he was the most, one of the ones that he's the most participation. And if this time is, I mean, you're obviously going to try to put yourself
No good. And so it's Brooklyn who scrapes by with the win. This was a crucial game for him, tying up the series at 2 apiece, Greg. A huge accomplishment.
In this series, I think hinged on who picked up game 4, Kevin. I mean, now it's a 3-game series, and anything can happen.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much. Giannis, you have said in the past you have even more untapped potential. So how did you put your fingerprints on this game?
I'm just here to do whatever it takes to help my team win. Did a great job executing, move the ball. And this is what we do. This is what we do. We play together, and whatever we do, hopefully we can get a win at the end of the day.
Well, it certainly turned into a win tonight, man. Thanks. Back to you guys.
Thank you for that, David. And that about wraps it up for this broadcast of the NBA Eastern Conference quarterfinals. So, for Greg Anthony, Stan Van Gundy, and our reporter David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. And now, our player of the game, the franchise.
Goodbye, viewers. Peace out. Peace out. See you tomorrow.